Ani, bonjour, kwe. It's Catherine here from Moonstarlodge, and I'm here with your weekly reading for February 13th to 19th. And I want to bring your attention to the fact that we're coming out of the time of Wisdom Keeper, the grandmother of the second moon cycle, and moving into Ways the Truth. So this week of the 13th to the 19th, we have a lot of leveraging of things that we need to assess. What is it that I am not usually wise about? Is it relationships, money, my choices about self? Is it boundaries? Whatever you need to relinquish to Wisdom Keeper, this is the time. So I don't like to jump too far ahead, but this is fourth quarter, and we need to really look at what no longer serves us in terms of our clarity, what are old patterns, and Wisdom Keeper can help with that. So we are preparing for next week, which is the new moon on the 20th of February. As I mentioned, it's Ways the Truth, and it is a super new moon. It's a perigee moon, meaning that the moon is the closest it can be to us. So the impact on the physical body, for example, if you have edema or swelling in your legs, make sure you keep your legs up. If you're prone to headaches, if you have high blood pressure, take care of those things. Don't eat salt that day, for example. But there are a lot of things that this moon is going to shine very closely on. So being a perigee or very close moon, it's shining its light on what is the truth. How do we judge what is the truth with that grandmother? So it's a perigee moon. It's the beginning of the sign of Aquarius, so an air sign, so therefore it's important to be clear. And I want to read you a little bit, as I do each moon cycle, about the grandmother that's coming. So this grandmother, Ways the Truth, is the keeper of equality and the guardian of justice, the fair judge of divine law and the destroyer of deception, the mother of truth and protectress of the underdog, the mother of self-determination and responsibility. She teaches us how to find the ability to respond and how to be self-determined, how to feed the positive, not the negative, by using divine law, how to use equality with justice, being accountable for our actions and words, how to use personal integrity, ethics, and values to find healing solutions. She teaches us how to accept the truth. So, this is my birth month coming up, this moon cycle, and so this is an important time for me in terms of personal reflection in the winter. I'm going to ask Brian now to go to the cards. So these are the decks I'm using this week. We'll start over here. The La Santa Muerte Lenormand. I love Lenormands as clarifying cards. They're great. This is the Embroidered Graveyard. The Antique Anatomy Tarot is our principal tarot this week. And oh, by the way, have you noticed that it's Skeleton Week? In defiance of my partner. We have the Memento Mori Lenormand and Oracle and Memento Mori Timing Expansion Pack. I could have used 2 additional packs that go with this deck, but I just had too many cards. We're dealing with the Marigold Tarot, and you'll often have seen these cards. I use them regularly for ancestor cards. The Sugar Skull Tarot deck, which I don't bring out very often. It's more for the fall and the Days of the Dead. And of course, my inner skeleton-loving 3-year-old needed the macabre tarot. And I don't have to say any more about that. Okay, so here we are now that I've messed all the cards up. We have a way more tarot decks this week than normal. I usually try to have one tarot deck, maybe a majors only deck to clarify. But this week I pulled out a lot of tarot. It just felt like such an auspicious week, moving from Wisdom Keeper into Ways the Truth. So here's our Antique Anatomy. And I'm going to start here and pull the clarifiers in, and you'll see why in a minute. So we start out with the 10 of coins, or basically the 10 of pentacles. And so we need to look at the beginning of the week as having all the prosperity. We've completed a cycle of accumulation. We need to assess if we don't feel that we have all that we need to look at where that's coming from. The clarifier here is balance. We need a balanced perspective, and that's interesting, and again you'll see where that comes up this week. So the balanced perspective on our bounty, and that doesn't have to be financial bounty, although the coins, discs, pentacles are all our earth life, our job, our home, the mortgage we pay, the vehicles we have, the wealth we've accumulated, and our potential legacy. It isn't all a financial thing. We need the balance because the card following is the 5 of Pentacles, which is can represent a sense of being an outsider, loss, despair, lack. But it's also, all 5s are about observing and assessing. So we need balance to assess what we really have. If we're constantly coming from a place of feeling lack, like we don't have enough, that has shame undertones. So look at what you do, honor what you do, and you won't feel left out. It's clarified by the Tower. Oh boy. People have a love-hate relationship because they assume that this means catastrophe. It doesn't. All it means is that we are going to have a sudden shift in some direction in our lives, and being a major arcana card, it means that it's a life-altering, it's Akashic record stuff, it's karmic. So moving along here, we've got the 10 of discs or coins, the 5 of coins, and now we have the 10 of elixirs, which is the same as the 10 of cups. So it's emotional happiness and emotional wealth, clarified by the key. We have the key. The key is a major symbol in most oracle and tarot decks, defining that the key is within us. It is never external. It's never, I'm going to be happy when I have more money or something external to us. It's the key to our happiness emotionally is within. So this is, again, balancing our perspective. Moving here, we have the Hermit. And you just can't make this stuff up. It's clarified by the Hermit. Completely different deck, all of it well shuffled. We have, in fact, 8 decks represented here. Several of them are tarot. And we have the Tower card here. And I believe we have the Tower card over here. So we've got duplication. This is a strong message to turn to the wisdom within. Again, the Hermit card, Hermit usually carries a key, in many decks at least, because the internal wisdom is always what we need to result on, or get results with, and we need to rely on is our internal wisdom and not just the cacophony of others. And that's what the next card speaks to. we have this Hermit card followed by the King of Wands. So, wow. The King of Wands is all about the completion of a passionate, spiritual, divine expression of connection to Source, manifesting in new direction. It's clarified by the Birds card, and the Birds card, this is a Lenormand deck. It tends to represent gossip in a lot of Lenormand books, if you look at that. But it's not, in this case, always gossip. It's about receiving messages. It's whose messages are you listening to? When you're in hermit mode, you're listening to your divine self. When you're the King of Wands, you're listening to Spirit and your divine self with an external expression. This is an internal expression. So be careful who you're listening to, where you're getting messages from, and don't listen to gossip. Don't share what you're doing, really, is what this is saying. Don't seek info or comment or opinion from others. Here's this tower down here, so it's both clarifying and it's part of the week. The King of Wands is ready for this. In fact, the King of Wands has created it, and it's just going to happen very quickly. It's clarified by the Two of Cups. And change, choice, companionship, Two of Cups can be similar to the Lover's card in the Major Arcana, but it's about what we are choosing and how we are choosing. So we're choosing prosperity. The last card of the week is the Fool. It is the new journey. And this card is February. And now I'm going to turn to the grumpy elder over there and ask if he will douse. Are we talking about this month of February 23 or February 24?
24.
All right. So that clarifies for us that whatever we're creating today, even though it comes upon us instantly, is going to have a whole year's worth of dynamic life change. You can turn the camera, Brian. So this is a wonderful, ancestrally inspired week ahead of us as we prepare to let go of the things that are unwise with Wisdom Keeper, to leave them with her, that she may help us through this next year to create newness. And I wish you well, and I hope you give us a thumbs up if you like this reading. Share it with your friends. Scroll through the information. Leave me a coffee, because after the skeletons, I need coffee. So, all right, have a blessed week, and look for our midweek reading that shows up on Instagram and Facebook. Aho.